as an actor, producer, and writer in Bollywood. Having appeared in numerous feature films, web series, and TV commercials. That's a good one though. His on-screen presence has constantly captivated audiences. Wow, yaar.
Thank you. बहुत है. Thank you so much. Thank you. So
you are the co-host with me tonight?
नहीं यार ऐश्वर्या. I am the host and you are the co-host. पागल.
What nonsense! What is he even talking? How are you the host, by the way? I belong to Client First Capital officially. I am the face, and how is he the host? I mean, like what? Just repeat after me. You are the co-host and I am the host.
Okay guys, let's just flip the script, okay? As Aishwarya said, I am the host and you are the co-host. ठीक है बराबर?
That's wrong, guys. He is still not in this. But let's just move on. So let me introduce myself. I am Aishwarya and I belong from Pune, Maharashtra, from India. I belong to Client First Capital since 3 months now, although just a newbie. Other than that, I am a BCom graduate and I am a state level soccer player and a professional makeup artist.
बस कितनी तारीफ करेगी यार अपनी. इवेंट शुरू करने से पहले ऐश्वर्या एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी.
Tell me.
अगर तेरे पास कोई ध्वनि उत्पन्न करने वाला यंत्र है ना तो उसे मंत्र मुग्ध करके मौन कर दे.
क्या कुछ भी नहीं समझा.
अरे यार चरी थी वही आयशा. मोबाइल साइलेंट करना.
तो ऐसे बोलो ना यार. Ladies and gentlemen, I please request you all to put your phones on silence as we are about to begin.
Also guys, that's a very very useful announcement for all the guests observing the holy fast. Please feel free to help yourself as we have arranged an iftar meal for you at restaurant 971 with a prayer room attached. Thank you.
Also, there's another announcement. The event is being telecasted live on YouTube channel of Client First Capital. So I kindly request to please share the links with your friends and family so more people can connect with us.
तो दोस्तों आइए हम इवेंट को शुरू करते हैं. लेकिन जैसा कि किसी भी शुभ कार्य को शुरू करने से पहले हम अपने इष्ट देव को, अपने भगवान को, गॉड को, अल्लाह को याद करते हैं, तो आइए इस इवेंट की शुभारंभ भी हम श्री गणेश जी का नाम लेकर करते हैं.
I would request you all to please rise for the Ganesh mantra.
ओम सुमुखुश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नविनाशो विनायकः धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षो बालचंद्रो गजाननः द्वादशी तानि नामानि यः पठेत् शृणुयादपि विद्यारंभे विवाहे च प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा संग्रामे संकटे च विघ्नस्तस्य न जायते शुक्लांबरं देवं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायते श्री गणाधिपतिये नमः. बोलो गणेश गजानंद स्वामी की जय. ऑल सिंधीज इन द हाउस. आयो लाल सबई चो झूलेलाल बेड़ाई पार. व्हाट अ वंडरफुल ऑडियंस. प्लीज हैव अ सीट. प्लीज. थैंक यू.
A warm welcome to all of you at the Client First Annual Meet 2024. And a very happy Women's Day to all the pretty ladies present out there. You all are looking fabulous today.
जी हाँ, एक माँ एक बेटी, एक पत्नी और एक बहन, ये सारे के सारे नारी स्नेह, शक्ति और समर्पण की प्रतिमूर्ति है। तो क्लाइंट फर्स्ट कैपिटल लिमिटेड की तरफ से मैं आप सभी को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
As per our tradition, we would like to begin the ceremony with the lighting of the lamp. For this, I would invite our founder, Bhuvan Gupta, our co-founder, Varsha Gupta, our COO, Mr. Mohan Nanwani, and Rohit Suresh to commence the event by lighting the lamp.
Please give a round of applause. Thank you. दिया जलाते हुए हम ये प्रभु से आह्वान करते हैं कि हे प्रभु, हमें असत्य से सत्य की ओर ले चल, हमें अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर ले चल, हमें मृत्यु से अमरता की ओर ले चल। भो दीप त्वं ब्रह्म रूप अंधकार निवारक, इमा मया कृता पूजा ग्रहस्तेज, शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशम च दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते।
Salutations to the light of the lamp, which brings auspiciousness, health, and prosperity, which destroys inimical feelings. Salutations to the light of the lamp.
Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
So now let's begin the evening with the founder's portfolio and business update. And to deliver this, I would like to call on stage a person who's fondly referred to as Mr. Dependable in the office. Let's welcome Rohit Suresh, who's a CFA charter holder. Thank you guys, and a warm welcome to Rohit Suresh.
Let's give a huge round of applause, guys. Let's boost up his energy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to each one of you present here for this annual Investor Meet 2024. There are many familiar faces here in this audience, but for the benefit of those who have joined us for the first time, I'm Rohit Suresh, investment advisor at Client First. 2025 is a very special year for us. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the Client First group. So I thought it would be apt to walk you through our decade-old journey. So I'll just take a couple of minutes over here. I'm going to rewind to 2015 when Bhuvan Gupta and his better half, Varsha Gupta, started Client First as a bootstrapped company. In the initial years, the focus was to act as a channel partner to the likes of Motilal Oswal, Zurich, and many other financial organizations. 2017 marked the shift from being a small-time broker to a financial advisor as an external asset manager with the private banks. 2019 was a watershed moment and, in a sense, a complete evolutionary arc from being a broker to a financial advisor to launching our first in-house fund, the Founders Portfolio, of which many of you are investors. And that's when Client First Capital was incorporated under the Mauritius Financial Services Commission. It's been an honor and a privilege to have been part of this journey when we were first managing roughly $5 million in 2020. This is a snapshot of the returns in absolute dollar terms of the Founders Portfolio. $1 million invested in the Founders Portfolio in the beginning of Jan 2020 would be comfortably placed at around $2.2 million, whereas an investment in the S&P 500 would not even have doubled your money. This return that we saw in the previous slide is backed by a very strong investment philosophy. Our investment philosophy can be encapsulated into just 3 words: quality, growth, and valuation. When we think of quality, it's quality of the management, the historical earnings quality depicted via the return on capital employed and the return on equity. The growth parameters are the normal top line and bottom line growth. And valuation, like I said, is the end point and the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle. In addition to that, each of these companies, whether they are part of the watch list or in your portfolio, have to undergo a very rigorous and extensive forensic analysis, a 70-point checklist to ensure that your hard-earned money deserves an investment into their companies. This is where the portfolio stands as of today. Again, we have segregated the metrics based on the investment philosophy which I just talked about in terms of quality. As you can see, the return on capital employed for the last 5 years, an average, is around 18%, and the return on equity is closer to 20%. This is a reflection of the initial slide which we just saw in terms of the returns. This was the past. Now, for the more interesting bit about the present and the future, I would like to hand it over to Aishwarya. Thank you so much. And just to conclude, a very happy Women's Day. More power to all of you. Thank you and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit bhai. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rohit.
ऐश्वर्या,
Yeah, tell me.
पॉडकास्ट को थोड़ा हैवी कर दें.
Podcast? It wasn't a podcast though.
अरे मतलब थोड़ा फन हो जाए, थोड़ा गेम्स हो जाए.
What do you mean by games? क्या गोल्फ खेलेंगे क्या?
नहीं नहीं, गोल्फ नहीं खेलेंगे. अच्छा एक बात बताओ, क्या तुम ये बोल सकती हो, चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पे चील ने चूहे को चोंच से चबा डाला? क्या था वो? चाचा के चबूतर? व्हाट? कबूतर होता है ना यार, वो तो चबूतर तो पहली बार सुन रही हूँ मैं. Forget it. अच्छा ये बोल के बताओ, Sally sells seashells on the seashore.
Okay, let me try. I'm gonna seriously try it, guys, because we have some grifts for that. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. बोल दिया.
जल्दी बोल के दिखा इसको 3 बार 5 बार.
अच्छा जल्दी भी बोलना है क्या?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
Okay, let me try. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells
Start again. Let's go to the audience and let's see if you know anybody of you want to try this.
Anybody who wants to give it a try. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
कोई ट्राई करना चाहेगा? चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पे चील ने चूहे को चोंच से चबा डाला. मैडम प्लीज मैम.
चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील ने चूहे के चोंच से चबा डाला. चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील ने चूहे के चोंच से चबा डाला. चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील ने चूहे को चोंच से चबा डाला.
Wow, beautiful.
That was a good one, though. That was a good one. This is for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Himaji. Anybody else, sir? Would you like to try?
Narendra.
Ji.
Somebody here on your left.
Let's go.
अच्छा, just a second. I'll be back. Sir, please, you want to try? आप अपना नाम बताइए, please.
Anjay Manoth, let me try. I don't have my glasses, so I'll not be able to read this.
It's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll be here.
I'll try the Sally one.
अच्छा, you want to try the Sally one?
She sells on the seashore.
Again, sir. Again.
It has to be faster.
She sells on the seashore.
Sally sells seashells on the seashore.
Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore.
Wow, fabulous.
Round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else would like to try
Come on,
this?
guys.
We've got
Let's
one
go.
more.
Hello everyone, Anjali here. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore.
Wow, fabulous. Huge round of applause.
Thank you.
ये कोई ट्राई करना चाहेगा? ऊंट ऊंचा, ऊंचे ऊंट की पीठ ऊंची, ऊंची पूंछ ऊंट की. दो.
Sells seashells on the seashore. Shally sells seashells on the seashore. Shally sells seashells on the seashore.
Wow, great. That's very awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you for trying. Thank you so much. You are correct as well. Thank you. Anybody wants to try? Anybody wants to?
Sally sells seashells on the
नहीं,
seashore.
ये हो गया.
सर वो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है.
ये बहुत बार हो गया.
Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, एक और.
कौन सा है? पढ़ने से. Oh man, what a beautiful handwriting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Honored, sir. Honored. चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर
चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील के चूहे ने चोट से चबा डाला। चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील ने चूहे को चोट से चबा डाला। चाचा के चौड़े चबूतरे पर चील ने चोट से चबा डाला।
Wow! Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was awesome. That was wonderful. आपकी ये लाइन है, आपको ये बोलना है, बसंती कुत्तों के सामने मत नाचना। और इसमें आपको एक्टर बताना है कि ये किस एक्टर ने बोला है, ये कौन सी फिल्म का है, और फिर उसी एक्टर की आवाज में नकल करके ये आपको बोलना है।
Wait, give us simple one, ना दरिद्र।
हाँ जी। जी बोलिए। आप बताइए।
मेरा नाम दुर्गा है और ये फिल्म शोले ये एक्ट्रेस इज हेमा मालिनी।
बोला किसने कहा?
नहीं बसंती नहीं ऐसे धर्मेंद्र ने।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। बहुत इजी वाला है, एक और
Narendra, I think we should move on with some serious stuff now.
अच्छा।
Let's go on. We'll play for a few more of the games, but we'll keep that for later. So now, moving on to the man of the evening. Hello guys. I'll get back to the serious part now. So, to begin with this is an individual with whom you have a love-hate relationship. You love him when a portfolio is up, and you're not very pleased with him when a portfolio is in the red. But you all have acknowledged him as a part of your family member and come in today. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause for your fund manager, founder and CEO at Client First Capital, Bhuvan Gupta.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I think the way you guys have made the AFM annual fund meeting and not AGM, I should say love me not, love me not. But I don't think so. The clients share the love and hate relationship with us. When the portfolio goes up, they definitely love us. But when the portfolio goes down, they call it up of more. And that's why it's a love and lovely relationship. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you who have invested with us last year. Double in this kind of volatile atmosphere is not easy. So I think I would like you to celebrate your success. Roughly 24% in last year. You deserve it. And people who have completed 5 years with us, I think probably they are the best to call sleeping investors, not to be found around. I think they have more than 2 times their money. And it will happen for everybody because the investment philosophy is very simple. I do not want to talk more as a fund manager. The strategy, the process, the layman investing is all I think clear to all of you. I would like to talk more as a CEO of a company where you are the future shareholder. And this is also goes to Warren Buffett, who in 1969 has dissolved his company and started Berkshire Hathaway. And for more than 60 years, he has made 18 to 17% even for his shareholders and created tons of money. But before I get down to the business, where is the business? So before I get down to the business, I think I need to address the elephant in the room. This evergreen movie called Sholay is relevant today as well, where the famous dacoit Gabbar is going to talk to Sama. Let's see what he's going to ask him. I won't ask you how many people were there. My question is, who were those 2 people? Any guesses? Okay, so I'll give you a I wish we can't handle the volatility. Now let me give you a context that Gabbar represents the US economy. Now give me the answer. Trump and Elon Musk. This is out of the course of. So these two people have taken the whole world by hand, for what we want to call it. Now, since I've addressed the elephant in the room, and I totally agree that Israel and Gaza conflict has yet not resolved, and Russia and the Ukraine war is still to be finished, and the Middle East investors and the businessmen are now dealing with threats, trade wars, and tariffs. And I look up to a man who for the last 60 years have made tons of money to his shareholders, and in his dictionary, politics has absolutely no place. And we will see as we move forward. But let me talk about the business, your business, Client First Capital, and any company which would like to become a million to a billion dollar company need some process, some structural changes. And for that, when we look up to these billion dollar companies, we find that they have core values, they have leadership principles, and they have core purpose. And with my management partners and the board members, we have identified the core purpose of Client First. The core purpose of Client First is to save the investor from the wrong investment and the bad investment advice. Obviously, our first core purpose is to make you tons of money with lower risk. But when you would like to touch many places and many people, and you want to be beyond humanity, you need to have something which is beyond the material gain. There is no day gone when I have not received a WhatsApp get risk quick schemes where people are offering you 2% to 5% guaranteed returns. And I think recently also, yesterday itself, in a factor trade, somebody has invested, has put in 10 rupees instead of 10 paisa, and 5 crore has been lost in a Vodafone trade. Similarly, the fraudsters are calling us every day and they want us to invest a small amount, but that amount becomes a fee. I am dealing with that on a daily basis. And a business has to have the purpose beyond the material gain. And for this reason, we have started teaching. We teach value investing master classes, we teach behavior finance investment classes, and I request each one of you, I'm sure many of you have sent your friends, you have joined yourself. And one more thing, by joining these classes, you will not start becoming a fund manager. Because investing is so easy, then I think my job is not required to read a lot. So this is just the beginning. After the master classes, you might want to join an investment lab in a university for 3 days, and then would like to probably read some books and pay your pilgrimage to Omaha and attend one of it investment seminar. And after that, you will be aligned with our investment philosophy and find that yes, theoretically in the eyes of the regulator, the risk is high in equities, but in the method of layman investing which we follow, which is roughly 200 years old, the risk is absolutely very, very low, and you can never lose money if you have a stupid time period. Now, this core purpose has to be complemented with the leadership principle or core values. Core values are which are never changing. They are going to be enhanced with time. Amazon has it. Every business which has become a billion or trillion dollar company has a core purpose. Amazon core purpose is to become Earth's most customer-centric company. And I think the name Client First goes very well with Amazon leadership principle. So we have identified 6 leadership principles in our business. And the first one is integrity and honesty. I want each employee of Client First Capital to see eyes to eyes to a prospective investor and speak the truth. Because the foundation of a great business cannot be stood on lies. Now, we strongly feel that we can't guarantee your investment and we can't take your money for 3 to 5 years. When we tell you minimum 5 years, and we know we can't guarantee it, and that's why we tell you that the investment returns are subject to market risk. I know we are so tense in this atmosphere, nobody wants to lose money, but unfortunately, it's a harsh reality that the great investments do not come with a guaranteed returns. In my experience, all the guaranteed investments will only give you capital back after 5 to 10 years. Now, I know you talk about, some of you feel good about the fixed deposit, but if you count the inflation, and I totally agree that fixed deposits are needed for some time and for some emergency, but it's very important that we tell the truth. Integrity is something which without that I would right to even talk to you. So we started with a small from home, and then today here we are meeting all of you. Thank you so much for being part of it. You have seen our growth, and I can proudly say that in the last 5 years, none of you have ever lost money in Founders Portfolio. The second principle where we actually score a lot. Now, when I was working with a local bank, I had faced a problem with investors. So when I was a relationship manager, got promoted to a private banker, and when I was a unit head, I had to give up the customers to relationship manager. And I quote one of my oldest investors saying to me when I met him that I am not a prostitute, that each and every relationship manager who leaves the bank in 2 years has taken me to their bank and I am stuck with 4 to 5 products. I think many of you have experienced that from that side. I have experienced the pain from this side. And that is why the company named Client First, we always think like you. We keep ourselves in a shoe. The majority of my family wealth is in the founders portfolio, and this will never change. And with Ananta India Fund, which is the India fund, which is again come at your request, my money is already gone there as well. Now this allows us to understand your pain. When I was doing structures back then, dealing with private banks, doing the leverage products, I totally understand the pain. I jokingly say this, that many of my investors are the one who have closed their private bank account and then they come to me. The third very important leadership principle is quality service. Now obviously, if I ask you which is more important, the process or outcome, what's more important? So you saw that we are still driven by the outcome. Now in that logic, Ganesh, maximum of our money should be in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has given 5x return in the last 5 years. But if I'll ask you, I'm sure 99% of the people do not have that kind of asset allocation. I strongly feel that unless I'm clear with the process of an investment and I cannot invest $10 to $20 million, I will not even invest $10. Investing is not trial and error. And for that, in our business, not only for investments, we also have the process for the HR, for the operations, for compliance. We use the best software. We make sure the employees are educated. You saw those books there. Each one of the books has been read by me. The employees are mandated to read at least 8 books in a year, and they are now sent to the IEMs, etc. for the higher education or the executive education. It's very important that they understand and have the courage to tell you that what our process is. And believe me, if you follow the process, the way the results have come, they will come in the future as well. Moving on, the fourth leadership principle is, I'm sure this is a very common one, but sometimes you have people who have fixed mindsets. There's a very beautiful book called Mindset. Now we would like to strongly believe that if somebody knows his job and it has become very easy for him, we make sure that that person gets promoted. And recently I promoted my EA to become a relationship manager, and now I'm searching for a new executive assistant. My job is difficult, but what I'm trying to draw is that change is the only constant. So when I met you 5 years or 10 years before, we are not the same people. We have changed. Probably 5 years ago when you tell us to trade, we agreed. But today if you tell us to trade, we will not agree. The trading is, and I meant stock trading is absolutely taboo in our business. The leverage is absolutely taboo in our business. We don't short stocks. We understand that we have a custodian responsibility, and sometimes we feel that investors are very gullible and they do not understand the risk. The investment is a survival game. Now if you make 30-40%, it doesn't mean we leverage and we make 80% return. There are years when the stock portfolio may correct or might correct up to 50%. And for that, most important thing is that we have changed for better, and this company is going to change further. One example is the document process of account opening is now become digital. The fifth principle, in this world of OTP and two-factor authentication and the AI and the Reels and Instagram, and I think the face lock on the phone, the investors are dealing with a lot of complexity. And you deserve a sweet and simple solution. Now, investors who are with me here, please raise your hand if you have gone through the layman investing concept, which we've shared in the first meeting. Yes? And that is a simple method. I think Mahesh ji can vouch for his great health at the age of 59, where the yoga, I think when I asked him, he said, yoga is my secret of my health. How many of you do yoga here? The challenge here today is not to make money, the challenge here is to survive. And I think you all deserve a simple solution. Our solution is so simple. And if you come and meet me after 6 months also, I'm going to ask you same power of compounding. And today I will not ask you. But the concept is so simple. We all need to make our life simple. We can't let, and I'm sure right now the Siri and the Alexa are listening to me. I can't allow these things to control us. And for that, we will always keep life simple. You come to our office, you will never find a trading desk. There is never a day when I was on the trading screen by 12 o'clock. I know NASDAQ is now announced in 2026, the trading is going to be 24 hours. It is going to be more harmful for us. Stock trading is a zero-sum game. I would like to caution you that more you sit in front of the system, you're going to lose the money. The last leadership principle which we have identified yet is frugality. Frugality, frugality, and frugality. I think the great businesses are laid on the foundation of saving cost. We are a very cost-conscious company. We strongly feel that the crooks who have shown us the quick, rich schemes, they are either landed in jail or in UK. With an old Cadillac, with a house Warren Buffett bought roughly 40-45 years ago, with a simple breakfast meal and one Coke every day, at the 95 of age, roaring to the 27,000 audience, I have not seen many people addressing the audience or the shareholders or running a company at the age of 80 or 85. Very rarely I see it. So as again I said, the frugality concept will keep the company alive. We will never change it. And that is the reason we will never change a performance fee concept in our company. We are not a cheap company. We do not want to charge you less. Obviously, in the long run, we want to reduce your cost, and for that we want to scale. And that is the reason we want to bring an IPO, so that you unlock a lot of wealth and we can reduce your fee to close to zero. And that's a long game. But with your help, I'm sure that can be achieved very well. So frugality is something we will never leave. Even the company's employees' performance and the bonuses are linked to the performance of the product. So it's a great partnership where you pray to Bhagwan or Lord that we should make a lot of money, where we pray that you should make a lot of money, because this relationship will only survive when it will be a win-win. And that's what we have achieved in the last 5 years in the founder's portfolio. Now your company is fundamental. The AUM has grown from, as Rohit clearly said, from $6 million in 2021 to $50 million. It would have not been possible without your love, without your support. We've also grown our revenue by roughly 4x in the last 5 years. And the total asset of the company is now 14x. Why am I telling you this? Because in the future, I am going to raise money so that I can give you more or better services. And when all these startups come here, we are not even profitable and take our money. We are profitable from day one for the last 10 years. There is never a year we have not been profitable. And you know how much debt we have? Okay, so you know everything. Why am I saying? The global footprint of this company, now we have presence in America. We have clients in UK and Europe. We have clients in Egypt, in African countries. We have a client in Australia. I think next time I meet you, please give us more friends, refer more friends, not just to benefit us, but benefit them, because they all come to us when they lose money. Earlier, our problem was when we were managing you and giving you 5% and 6% in the bond, you were very happy. Now when we are giving you 15%, you want 30%. And believe me, that greed will just destroy us. So please don't run after it. I have prospects I've followed for 2 years. The last moment they gave money to somebody they don't even know. They have not even seen their face. They have not gone to the company. They are not even regulated. Now what happens in this kind of scenario? Not only I lose that investor, I lose if that investor has an existing money, because the good money will now go for the bad money. So please refer your friends and family, so that, because our investment philosophy and the process is very open. We are not a black box like Ray Dalio has a hedge fund. A lot of this hedge fund is a black box. With due respect, some of you are investors there. I have a lot of respect for these people. But when Warren, why I follow Warren Buffett? Why not Jim Simons, who has delivered 44% returns? Because the great things are easy to copy. If you are a good restaurant, like Govinda's run a very good restaurant, or Dr. Hemant's run a very good education institute, the method can be copyable. And I think you are great when people copy your model. They can follow your principle. We all are trying to follow Arjuna, or we're trying to follow the Bhagavad Gita principle, because that knowledge is open to us. All these options and quant models, yes, they work. 1 out of 50 or 60, they definitely work. And personally, I've experienced it, so I don't really want to you to do the same mistake. But the problem is, you hardly find somebody who learns from others' mistake. But one thing you can definitely do is read our annual letters and learn from my mistakes. I have done many, and I don't want to do more, but eventually they will happen. But one good thing in the investing is, I think I'll talk about that in the next slide. So before I go further, I would like you to take few messages from my annual letter. In 2025, we gave a concept called RRR, revisit, reread and rewatch. Now obviously when we read the scriptures or Bhagavad Gita or Quran or any holy book or any book for that matter, or any concept of physics, we were not that much evolved. As time passes, we have evolved. Probably as we turn old, the wisdom is more, probably the strength is less. We need to revisit these concepts. And they say that at the age of 40, 50, 55, a lot of people become doctors. Why? Because they have so much of experience, they understand that they have to take care of their own health. And many of you are following here one meal and intermittent fasting, etc. So I would like you to go through it and then answer what you see. The reason why I want all of us, or why I am now rereading the books, this idea came to me when I was reading the scriptures, and I am finding that every time you go through the scriptures, whether it is Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, a new thing comes out. And you just feel that you do not know it enough. I'm sure in the business also it is happening that every time you revisit, why I've hired this person, what mistake I have done, and then you make a checklist. So let's watch the video together.
This is a gradual change test. Watch this short film and try to spot the change. Only one thing will change. Did you see it?
Pause it.
Few
people who have attended my behavior finance classes and client first capital employees, barring them, anybody could spot it? The change was gradual, Ganesh, and that's the whole point. Why we need to revisit, but when we watch something first time, we just learn the concept, like cooking, or like Bruce Lee said, that I don't have fear from somebody who has practiced 10,000 moves one time. I fear the person who has practiced one move 10,000 times. You want me to replay it? Okay, replay it.
Few people notice it, even though it happened. This is a gradual change test. Watch this short film and try to spot the change. Only one thing will change. Did you see it?
Was it? Anybody could spot it? A big round of applause for him. You all will see it now.
Few people notice it, even though it happened in plain sight. Here's what changed. We think changes draw attention, but we don't realize how much we can miss. We're blind to our own change blindness. Now that you know what's changing, you can actually see the change happening. It just doesn't draw your attention automatically. Watch it again. Our overconfidence that we will notice such changes reflects an everyday illusion, the illusion of attention. Check out the book, The Invisible Gorilla.
Blank it out. No, just blank it out. I think, Ganesh, you were supposed to come for the next session. So, in the behavior finance, I teach this subject to train myself. You just saw in the plain sight that many of us you sitting here are not able to spot it. Let's try it again. Some of you would have missed it. The next text which is going to come, I'll keep it on for 5 seconds. All you have to do is count number of F in the paragraph. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many of you could spot 3 Fs? Brilliant. How many of you could spot 4 Fs? How many of you could spot 5 Fs? How many of you could spot 7 Fs? How many of you could spot 6 F? Big round of applause for people who could spot 6 F. God has not made us perfect, and that's why we need to revisit, repeat things. And that makes us a better husband, better investor, better businessman, better teacher. And now you all see it. The brain has a problem. It cannot recognize a 2-letter word where the F is there. So I hope I could communicate the message across that we should revisit old books. Some people say, I have read Bhagavad Gita. The challenge is, has Bhagavad Gita read you? The Bhagavad Gita has to go through us. So that is why this is, okay, so the easy way to do this, please come for my classes. Next slide. Now I'm sure many of you have come here to know how we create wealth, what simple rules we have discovered. They are also true in business. Now the first fundamental rule of wealth creation is that busyness does not equate to progress. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, who is now in politics also, has more time than probably all of us. And probably Facebook and Instagram are keeping us busy. Now busyness is like a person who is running from a starting point in the night, not knowing the direction and the guidance. And when the dawn appears, he found himself near the starting point. Progress means freedom. Freedom comes when people like you, some of you have, I think many of us have achieved that. Progress comes when we have freedom. Freedom is achieved when we buy our time, because time is the only currency. We might have a lot of money, but today I think many of you refrain to eat after 6 o'clock. I think the principle of having a lot of money and be alive is to eat water and breathe air. And we all are going through that. Now progress means you have a lot of time in your hand. This is what the simple mantra we follow for wealth creation. Now how do we able to do it? We strongly feel that as a human, we are also susceptible to a lot of wrong decisions. Every day when we drive a car, Many a time, even knowing the whole Dubai, having the GPS, we still take the wrong signal or the wrong turn. There is a joke in Dubai that if you take a wrong turn while going to Gises, you will land in Sharjah. Now this is what we believe in, taking fewer decisions. You have all the checklist, you ask so many people and then you take a decision, you will still go wrong. So the idea of wealth creation in our metrics is to take fewer decisions. How are we able to do it? We're able to do it because when we take a decision, we take a bigger decision. Just to give an example of a company called Aura Minerals, which is in our portfolio, we invested roughly $3.5 million. Today it has made a total of $4.5 million, and we're still not selling it. In 2020, we have a company called Dinos Shipping. All of you are sitting here as a businessman. You know that in 2020, the freight charges have gone up. And being a partner to a vessel charter company called Dinos Shipping, and some of you were the investors those times, in October 2020, we bought this company for $8 at roughly 8% in the portfolio. By February 2021, roughly less than 1 year, we sold this company for $96, which has taken care of 2020 and 2021 returns. So how are we able to do it? How are we able to be pound wise? Because we believe in asymmetric payoff. So when I invest of $10 in one company, we can lose that $10. But when we make that upside, the upside is not 100, not 1000, it is unlimited. And that is why by fewer decisions, by asymmetric payoff, we are able to achieve it. Second, we don't focus on the small thing, we keep delegating them to the people who are worthy of it. And this is the reason that we are able to create wealth by taking fewer, bigger decisions. One more thing, I don't have a lot of businesses to manage. A lot of us have this thought that investing and business are different. The only difference is in the investing, we are not the manager, we are the promoter. And I'm sure a lot of us invest in startup, but before we invest in startup, let's have 40 to 50% in the companies which are well established. Now, how can even if I have $10 to $30 million, have a CEO like Tim Cook selling phones for my business? How can I have Andy Jassy, who is the CEO of Amazon, selling A to Z for me? How can I have Hassan, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, selling AI chips for me? Now, when we invest in this company as a shareholder, a long-term shareholder, we hire these best people to run business for us. And I think investing and business are similar with a twist. When buying Apple iPhone is real, when having McDonald's or Jack Daniel is real, how can being a partner of or buying a share of this company for long run is not real? So when you consume a reel from the 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I think I will be happy as a shareholder of Meta. When some of you buy Tesla, and if I am a Tesla shareholder or we are a Tesla shareholder, why should I sell Tesla just because it is 40% down? So this is how we have created wealth in Client First Capital. These are some simple rules. In the morning, I met a banker, an ex-colleague, and he was very happy because now, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, Trump said that we want India to buy oil from us. And because of that, a lot of oil companies have gone up, and he was talking about, I placed some stop loss in some order. How much money can I make out of that? Is it really going to change my wealth? So making money is easy. Creating wealth requires a quantum of money to be invested. I request each one of you, if you are not confident of Founders Portfolio, and if you have invested some amount, don't remain invested. Understand is that if you can invest the whole wealth in it, that kind of investment it is. It's a 200 plus years investing method followed by many investing legends. Sadly, for the monthly and quarterly and yearly incentive, the so-called Wall Street and the Wall Street equivalent in Dubai have forgotten the simple secret of creating wealth. On that note, I think I have last slide where I want to talk about the future of Client First and the proceeds of the money which we have received from you. The three update I have is Ananda India Growth Fund is ready. The money from the founders have already gone. It is a company, it's a fund incepted by Kane Majumdar, who is my partner from New Jersey, managing $350 million in Ridgewood Investments. He's going to Warren Buffett conference for the last 20 years. He's 54. This is now fully functional, and those who would like to subscribe, I think Mohan will talk more on it. The valuation is mouth-watering. I know some of you are absolutely thinking that what to do in Indian market. He has a lot of memes to share with you. The second thing is, we have also now working on founders portfolio fund structure. Many of you have asked for nominee, which is not possible to do for in interactive brokers. So the fund structure will give us homogenized structure. It will give us NAV based structure. It will give us a lot of powers. We can also buy great unlisted companies and also take the IPO gains. We can also invest your money in the markets where interactive broker doesn't have the brokerage permission. So fund structure is what the whole world follows. Terry Smith managing $13 billion follow the same structure. All the big people who have made great money, they follow the fund structure. So with time, I would love to see you moving to the fund structure. It also helps to, let's say market is down today and many of you have money stuck, but the new investors are giving money. And when I buy the share for them, it will also benefit the old investor because it's a pool structure. The third thing is the client first foundation. Now we decided that the wealth which we are creating through you, there's a purpose. The purpose is charity. We now are forming client first foundation where 2 to 3% of our wealth every year will go, and we'll also would like to take your contribution. The whole idea in the client first foundation is to help the meritorious children who are underprivileged to crack the competitive exams like the joint entrance exam and the AIMS. We'll also be writing the annual letters for it, so that we are very conscious that why are we creating wealth. I will write to you about this also. It will not be possible without your help, but I think that is a noble thing we always wanted to do, and this is something which will keep us motivated and alive because it's very important to give back to society. I have also mentioned about this in the annual letter. Please have a look. I'm done with my prep marks. The question and answer session is open. I think some of you have sent a lot of questions, so let me take few of them which are relevant. The first question is, what is my market outlook for 2025? I have no outlook for 2025. Maybe you should have lower written expectation. All I can tell you is, if the inflation is down and the bond goes up, the equity will also make money. So have your expectation lower. And one thing we should all know, that don't look for to market for guidance. Market is there to serve you. We are investing in 8 to 10 companies which are right now available at price to earning of 5 to 15. And this is a great time to build the portfolio. The problem is, even if I'll come asking you and shouting at you, you will still do the SIP method. This outlook is not important. 5 years is what we should always look at. I don't see a recession. I'm happy that the market has corrected. So a lot of these short-term players are out. You may want to invest your money into tactical investment like the US manufacturing company, etc. We don't do this because we know our companies have great balance sheet. You should actually, when you want to analyze the founder's portfolio, read the balance sheet of the company and you'll find that except 1 or 2 companies, none of them have debt. And last year, roughly 80% of the companies bought their own shares. So my market outlook is limited, but I can go back to history. And the history says that if you have phenomenal years and you have a downward year, you can have multiple years of positive returns. From 1993, if you look at 2024, it is possible that if you have a down year, there could be multiple positive years. So we should not waste our time in discussing what will happen in 2025. If we don't make money in 2025, my whole team is ready to not to take any profit share. But by 2026 or 7, we will make 40-50%, and that should be our focus. Yes, we do have an exit criteria. We give 2 to 3 years to a stock because businesses do not build overnight. A quarter or 2 can always go wrong. There are some cyclical companies which take 2 to 3 years to come back to profit. So we have an exit criteria. You may want to talk to us and we can help you to know. But obviously, if a stock is just down 10-20%, we don't sell it. We keep it. In fact, we buy more when they go down if the fundamentals are intact. This kind of volatility in atmosphere, the market participants, you don't know. There are so many players. It's called pari-mutual system. So many people are playing the game, and that is why when these impatient investors are going out, it is important to buy more. If we can't buy, we have to hold. Now, the bad companies definitely need an exit, and we have exited in the past. And yes, we can talk about the criteria of stage. I think each one of you have more experience than me about the property. In fact, some of you have told me n number of times to buy property. I think you should talk among you and learn more. I think a new project has just launched and every client has got only one token. This is a very good thing. I'm very happy that Dubai has made a lot of money for people in real estate, but I have limited knowledge. Oh, so elephant in the room again. Yeah, so we can talk about tariff. The main thing what Trump, in my opinion, I think you all understand this, he is showing a face. He doesn't want to come, sit and negotiate like a Gujarati, like probably His Highness Narendra Modi does it. He wants to shout, he wants to threaten or whatever his style is, and then on the night you will hear that he has delayed the tariff. Even Fed is unable to understand what he's trying to do. Yesterday's Fed messages, let's understand more about the Trump policy or Washington policy, and then we will decide whether we want to reduce the interest rate or not. So now I think I have an answer from Warren Buffett. He has given an interview some days ago, and I think he has a very good answer, and I don't want to add anything on it.
The financial markets. Can I just ask you a couple of questions about kind of how you see the state of the economy right now?
Well, I think that's the most interesting subject in the world.
So it's a CBS interview. Very rarely he gives the
financial
interview.
markets. Can I just ask you a couple of
Replay.
questions about kind of how you see?
Okay. Start again.
The state of the economy right now?
Well, I think that's the most interesting subject in the world, but I won't talk. I can't talk about it now. I really can't.
How do you think tariffs will affect the economy?
I mean, tariffs are actually, we've had a lot of experience with them. They're an act of war to some degree.
How do you think tariffs will impact inflation?
Over time, they're a tax on goods. I mean, the tooth fairy doesn't pay them. I mean, and see, you always have to just, and then what? You always have to ask that question in economics. Always say, and then what?
So is there an answer for that when people say, inflation persists, consumer prices keep going up, when's the end in sight?
No, prices will be higher 10 years from now and 20 years from now and 30 years from now.
And what do you think about what's happening in Washington right now? About efforts to
I think
cut
it's Washington.
Yeah.
It's, technology changes things, all kinds of things, but Washington is Washington, and the problem with politics is that you tend to have to make tiny compromises as you go along.
And what do you think about Elon Musk's efforts to cut?
Well, I better not get into that. Oh,
Do you talk to him at all?
I've talked to Elon a few times.
And any thoughts about his current efforts in Washington? No. You've always been bullish on American companies.
Majority of any money I manage will always be in the United States.
So just to simplify for you, he said no comments on Elon Musk. He said the politics is politics. There are few things you have to definitely deal differently. And the very good thing he said, tooth fairy doesn't pay the tariff. So tariff is a war on goods, and the inflation should be higher. And that's why my question to you is, apart from Elon Musk, who is the best friend to Mr. Donald Trump? And it is not a person. Very simple question. No. Think investment. You are partially right. The answer is gold. If you watch carefully, gold has not gone down. So gold and silver are friend to Donald Trump, unless, and I think by 3 or 4 months the market will stabilize, they'll understand what's happening. Many of you have complained that, oh, I wish I should have liquidity now. You have 3-4 months till everybody will digest whether invest through us or with yourself or ETF, keep investing. Brilliant time. If the January would have gone 10% up and have come down, if it would have gone 20% up, what would have you done? Because I would have not sold it. Because I'm absolutely ready for a year which is a negative return. So I think it's a brilliant time to add on. Please keep your worry aside. Don't watch many of this Ukraine and Trump videos. I know we feel very bad the way he talks. But we have not funded Ukraine, he has funded, so he has all the right. And as you rightly saw that a 95 years billionaire had no view on Musk and Trump, I have no view as well. I think on that note, I'm happy to take questions from you. We have roughly 5 minutes. Okay, one more question. What comes between health and wealth and between the wealth and character? They're all same. The character is formed of repeated choice. If one has a great character, he has a great wealth. When you have wealth, it doesn't mean money. In the scriptures, wealth is eightfold. And one of the wealth is patience, one of the wealth is knowledge, one of the wealth is the progeny. So health is your financial, health is your physical wealth, and wealth is your financial health. They all go along. The only thing comes between the game of investing is the app which we keep seeing. Now if you want to protect your app, please be away from apps. This is what I would like to tell you, and if you have that maintained, that from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock your phone and the worry is all in the drawing room and you are in your bedroom in the peace, the next day you will come fresh. And many years, I think we all have to learn from each other how to live longer. And I think these apps are coming between our health or game of investing. Questions? We are open for questions now. Yeah. Just a disclaimer, I might not be able to answer all the questions. Please tell your name and then ask.
Yeah, hi, my name is Rajat. You talked about Warren Buffett and you gave examples of him and Berkshire Hathaway. My question is, besides Warren Buffett, who is another global investment or fund manager you follow, or whose philosophy you really like, or you are able to resonate with? Any other leaders from the global investment name?
Sure. Very good question. Warren Buffett said you should have multiple or many role models, like you should have many mentors. There is a person called Terry Smith, who is called Warren Buffett of UK, managing $13 billion, staying in Mauritius. I'm telling this name also because a lot of people think that Mauritius has all this dirty thing happening. I think this gift city and all, they're all regulators. At the end of the day, if you do the right thing, the regulator is there to help us, and Mauritius is an amazing regulator. So Terry Smith stays in Mauritius, and he manages the wealth of $13 billion with 13% kind of return. That's one. The second person is Chris Mayer, or Christopher Mayer, who wrote a book called Multi-Baggers, a good friend. You may refer a blog I wrote on my meeting with him. He stays near a village in Washington. There's another person called Chuck Akre. With a small team of 13 people, he also manages $13 billion. And he is again near a village in Washington. Those are the global investors. There are others. One very good person named Ramdev Agrawal. How many of you know Ramdev Agrawal? Ramdev Agrawal is such a simple man. When I met him, and the reason I started this journey is because Ramdev Agrawal and I belong to same city. So I pity myself that somebody, a billionaire, and I always wanted to start a business which does not do hanky-panky. I am sure you understand this in Dubai. And Ramdev Agrawal is so simple, and all he did is compounding. He let his portfolio go down 50%, 30%, he never cared. He told us in an audience that the moment I get dividends or I get cash flow, I just invest. I don't look at the valuation. I keep on investing. The reason he says though, because nobody can price a company more than 3 years. Nobody, market doesn't have an eye above 3 years. So in the next 3 years, whether we make money now or not, will definitely, in the capitalism, will definitely gonna make money. So these are some names. I can tell you more, Rajat. when we'll meet off stage. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. This is Jackie. I just wanted to ask that what's the one biggest investment surprise which your firm faced in 2024 and that has changed your outlook for 2025?
None.
Nothing.
The only mistake I can tell you that I sold some share of Interactive Brokers thinking that the company is a slow grower and reduced profit for everybody by 10%. We would have closed last year at 40%. But thanks to Rohit, he pointed this out and then Interactive Broker got doubled. So there's no other surprise I have on the positive side. By this Trump, by the way, I have very little knowledge about, I don't even know Hussain, who is the Demax owner, so no idea about knowing Trump. So no other surprise. We still sleep peacefully.
My name is Nilesh Jain. You did mention that you do invest in the unlisted shares as well. What is the difference between listed and unlisted? Can you just explain? And then when do you exit from the unlisted investments?
Okay. First of all, we never exit. Our whole fundamental or philosophy, there's a book outside. Please understand that even if an investment is giving you 11% return, it is better to take the profit and reinvest than doing this buying and selling. So we do not want to invest in a company by thinking of exiting. Why do people exit? Because they are selling you a product. Why are they selling you a product? Because there's a hidden fees or upfront fee which a salesperson want to make out of you. So all this close-ended AIF, which are in fashion because the PMS, the regulation is very clear that you cannot charge upfront fee, you cannot have an exit fee. And that is why they come with a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year product. Now obviously there are good products also. So we invested in something called Motilal Oswal Private Equity, amazing product, but these companies have a huge runway to run. But eventually we have to sell it because they have to come with a new product and the new product and the new product. I think I should ask you a counter question. When do you think you will sell your business? People have no clue. In fact, at the age of 60, 65, they want their children to come and join the business, correct? And that is how you should look at the share investing also. Yes, Neeraj.
I think the elephant in the room, bigger than Trump and Musk, given the investment philosophy, is the cash pile-up that Warren Buffett is doing at Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, I'm sure he's not returning the cash to shareholder, which means he clearly has some thinking that probably it will come to use and he will find some good opportunities, investment opportunities. But what is your take on that?
So he clearly wrote, let me ask you, have you read the letter?
Not completely.
So a lot of people have asked me that he is sitting on cash, why aren't you sitting on cash? In his letter he clearly wrote that you may see the cash pile is going up, but we have lot of subsidiaries who are not in the market and that holding is much higher than cash. So your money will always be invested into these companies. And now a famous company called Seas Candy has shops in Dubai Mall, Mall of Emirates, Festival City. Brooks is here. I think one more company is here. So all Warren Buffett subsidiaries are slowly and gradually expanding in the region. So I am sure you have seen Seas Candy shop. And Brooks Shoe is also famous. So they are now coming in this region. So coming to your answer, Nito, I think he has one, by the way, he has one challenge. To move the needle, he cannot buy a $1 billion company. He has to buy a $100 billion company at least $10, $20 billion. And that is why he went to Japan. Now in this business of investing, a small person or a small fund manager can make more money. He himself said in 1980 that if I would have been managing $1 million, I would have killed the Dow. Dow Jones used to be an index those times, and I would have given you 50% return. So this is the problem in this business when you have more money. I'm sure people who have bigger business, to make it double, you have to think differently, and that's not easy. Yeah.
Hi, this is Vikrant. So my question is, investors like Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio, they have talked about understanding an industry before investing in it. So is it necessary that as an investor you need to understand every industry of whichever company you're going to invest, or is it just that you need to understand how the market works?
No, so as I rightly told you, market, are not important to understand after a point that you understood that you should invest in democracy. Scholes Peter, who was the colleague of Warren Buffett and a student of Ben Graham, I don't know how many of you know Ben Graham, was the professor and the guru or the mentor of Warren Buffett, who wrote a book called Intelligent Investors. So this Peter Scholes, who has made 1,000 times in 40-45 years, he invested in Cuba, and Cuba turned communist, and he realizes his mistake then. When I was teaching, I realized that I did the same mistake in China. So all we need to know about a market, whether that market is democratic or not. Does it favor capitalistic people? India and US by far are the greatest market available to us, and being an Indian speaking English language, being in Dubai, I think these two markets are more than enough. Now coming to your second part, a fish in a small pond which is growing bigger will definitely die. To invest in an industry, in a company, it is very important to know the sector. And when we call it as like NVIDIA, we say it is in semiconductor sector. Sorry. In the semiconductor, there are 10 different baskets. Like when you invest in a coal mining company, it could be metallurgical coke, which is still important for steel manufacturing. Whereas the bitumen coke, which is creating a lot of pollution, is a dying industry. So it is very important to know a sector and understand it. We recently invested in an insurance company, but it's an insurtech in the property and casualty insurance. By far, I'm sure a lot of us have heard about Zurich. We would have heard about Exa Insurance, MetLife, the Prudence or Prudential. Please go and check. These insurance companies have not made money. And if there is a reason behind it, that the fundamental principle of the life insurance, the matrix is so easy that each company has a similar kind of a premium. They can't charge you a premium because the matrix is very simple. So either you have to have an efficiency because it's a commodity company, or you need to have the complex matrix, which is called property and casualty and E&S insurance. So sector also, Vikrant, one has to understand that the sector has various sub-domain, and then that company lies in that domain. So yes, it is important. Oh, hi. Yeah, last, Anjali, right?
My name is Anjali. My question is, would you recommend a cryptocurrency as for beginners to invest?
I still do not have any idea of cryptocurrency, but I think Dubai people love it. So I will definitely try and arrange one meeting with you of somebody who has great experience. I still don't understand it. Thank you so much. I think I can take this question offline. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for this insightful information. The other questions will be answered later on. We need to move forward now.
So, thank you, Bhuvan sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful insights. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Mohan Nanwani to share a few words with us. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Client First Capital Limited. He would be heading the Indian growth strategy at Dharohar Capital Partners. He has close to 24 years of experience in portfolio management, MIS and analytics. His prior stints include Amazon, Reliance, First Source Solutions and Etisalat. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mohan Nanwani. Mohanji, please.
Let's give a huge round of applause, guys.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya and Narendra. Yeah, this is me 6 months back when I first met you all. Right, so Bhuvan had started this session by asking a question कि वो दो आदमी कौन थे, and in Indian context we all know that everyone is talking about only one entity, and that entity is foreign institutional investors, FIIs, but the question there are still two. And what are those questions? Anyone wants to guess? FIIs कब बेचना बंद करेंगे और कब वापस आएंगे? Right, so truly speaking, I don't have any answer to that, but still we know about FIIs. They exit the market when the economy goes on the downturn, or the interest rates in the US are on the higher side, or the valuations are not comfortable and they are just booking profit. We should always understand that the FIIs in India are invested for decades. And when do they come back? They actually come back when the Indian economy stabilizes, it starts doing better, the interest rates in US come down, and the most important part is that the valuations and the growth prospects in Indian equities are too good to ignore. And we all know that we have got into that territory of valuations and growth being too good to ignore. And in fact, we had a challenge 6 months back that we had very good companies to invest in, but we were not finding them at the right valuations, and then now valuations are at our comfort level. I would want to take this opportunity today and announce that we have successfully got registered with FSC and Dharovar Capital Partner, which starts its journey to invest in Indian market through our dollar managed Ananta India Growth Fund is completed. We have successfully got the registration and we are now open for subscription. Our founders have already started investing in that, and some of the clients have also committed some funds which will start coming in the portfolio from Monday onwards. Thank you so much, guys. But where has this idea started? This idea has actually come through the request of our existing partners. You all have been requesting us that we should have an exposure to Indian equities because our product was rest of the world product and we were invested across the world except for the Indian equities, and that has become a fruitful addition to our already happy investors, and definitely they will get added here. I think I am always getting the help from Ishita. Correct. So if you realize that how do we invest, we are following the same principle of quality, growth and valuation. In the Indian context, it is termed as sustainable qualitative growth at reasonable price, which has always been the benchmark of the founders portfolio, where we always look at quality, growth and price, which is valuation. Now the valuation has been the biggest concern for everyone in Indian equities. Everyone is talking about the same thing. For the last 1 month I had been getting these calls that when the FIIs will come back, I have been telling them that one of the FIIs which is registered as Dharovar Capital Partners is going to go long on India growth story. And why are we going long is shown here. Correct. So I think most of you would have seen this in different through different channels, media, WhatsApp groups, or wherever you are connected with Indian equities. The markets have fallen up to 26% at the index level, and some of the equities that are part of the NSE 500 are available at the pre-COVID levels, which essentially mean that the valuations are there which they were 5 years back. And they are there after the stocks have given from 200% to 328% returns in the last 5 years. But the valuations are before pre-COVID levels. Next one. But my important indicator, most important indicator for me has been the meme index. I think most of you remember the meme which used to come on ITC, buy at 200, stop loss 200 and sell at 200. The stock used to trend for the complete 1 year at 200 rupees, and these are the memes that we are getting now. Buy at 52-week low, the stock has gone to 104-week down, save the Nifty, paisa kaise lagaye. I think he is the most important guy in the Indian context today, the Foxy News. He keeps telling us that a girl was not crying while she was going to her sasural, but she started crying when someone showed her portfolio which was in deep red. So red is the color of sarcasm now. Correct. So whenever I start getting memes, I know that this is the time when you are going to go big, go long. If the memes are on the side of the red, when the memes go on the side of the green, that is the time of the cautions. That is my index. How do I invest? Now these are some of the companies which we have already invested in. This is the founders portfolio which is invested in Indian equity. Now if you look at the valuation piece, These are the sectors that we are going to invest, and we are already invested. From the top, the stocks have corrected from 26% to more than 50%. That is when we identified them. The PEs have corrected from the historical PE by approximately 50%, which essentially mean that there are double correction. One is the stock price correction, which you are able to see it, but the prices of the stocks are actually corrected, but the performance has risen, which means that your price to equity is going down and the stock market value is also going down, though the EPS is improving. Now I know it is a little technical, but yes, that's how it is. The share price CAGR of these companies have been so good. They are excellent companies. We will keep investing in them. And yeah, net income CAGR is also visible for your reference. These were the companies which we are actually interested in. I'm very thankful to Bhuvan because he is the first one who started in the, investing with me. And I will look forward to reach out to you to you people. Bhuvan has already answered so many questions, so probably we'll keep the questions when I come off the dais. But I would want to quote Mahatma Gandhi today. He had once said that a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is a part of it. We are not doing him any favor by serving him. He is doing us the favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. Now, one of my friend who has extreme views about certain things, he said that Mahatma Gandhi never said this. To him I tell that whosoever said this is actually a Mahatma. Whether he is Gandhi or not doesn't matter. So from our very own name, which is clients first, to our core leadership principles, which Bhuvan also explained, and through our daily interactions with you, whether today, yesterday, or whatever we do with you tomorrow, we actually echo these very sentiments. For us, clients have always been the first, and they will always remain the first. We have a policy in our company, we keep a chair empty, which is a concept we borrowed from Amazon, in all the decisions that we take, and we assume that one of our clients is sitting there. So all the decisions that we are going to take should be in favor of the clients, and they have been in the favor of clients in the long run. At this moment, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank all of you attending our annual event, but more importantly, thank you for being the part of the Client First family. Dharohar Capital is just an extension to it, and I hope that the way you have blessed us for Client First journey, the road ahead with Ananta India Growth Fund in Dharohar Capital will also be the same. And I always believe that a long-term value-driven investment approach is the way to create the wealth, like Bhuvan has always been insisting on. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much, Aishwarya and Narendra. Thanks, Bhuvan.
Thank you so much, Mohan. Now, we have something special for the 3 R's of our company. You'll know what are the 3 R's. So, everyone must have heard about the Do Anmol Ratna, Mere Do Anmol Ratna. But at CFCL, we have many of them. But today we are going to acknowledge 3 of them. So, for doing so, I would call upon Bhuvan and Varsha on the stage. So basically, if you are wondering what are we going to do, we are going to have a small award ceremony. So the first award, which is the Rising Star Award, goes to Richa Kanabar. Richa, we may please have you on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause.
एक मिनट ऐसे नहीं जाने देंगे मैडम, प्लीज 2 शब्द बोलिए मैडम प्लीज. हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस वर्किंग विद क्लाइंट फर्स्ट कैपिटल प्लीज?
Actually, I have recently joined. I have completed just 7 months, and I don't feel that I'm working with employer. I feel that I'm working with a family. So I'm very glad that I have joined Client First Capital, and thank you so much, Bhuvan sir and Vasha ma'am, for always supporting me. So I'm very glad. Thank you so much.
Give a huge round of applause, guys. Just 7 months and she's already receiving an award. That's a huge deal. For the second award, that is the behind the scenes hero, this award goes to Rohit Suresh. As Bhuvan sir is saying, he has more fan base, so let's give a huge round of applause.
Rohit
The third
bhai,
award.
you want to say something? No, he's already said.
Okay, he also has got something. So you not saying? Let's do it.
Thank you so very much. It's been 5 years with the firm. Here's to the next 10 years. Thank you.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's a good number.
Wow. That's very good to hear.
The third award, the most waiting award, the Employee of the Year 2024 award goes to Rachna Udarnani. Do a huge round of applause, guys. Rohit,
You want to say something, Rachna? No?
please grace us with your few words.
So, you all know my name, myself Rachna Udarnani, and I have been with the firm for the last 4 years, and yes, like Rohit said, 40 years more.
Let's have a group photo for the 3
Of all the
R's of
achievers.
Client First Capital.
Achievers 2024.
Richa, Rachna and Rohit, the 3 R's of Client First Capital.
ये बाहुबली की टीम आ गई. लो भाई, क्या बात है.
Congratulations to all the 3 R's and the award winners.
So on behalf of all these 3 people, I think we treat them as a customer, they're internal customers. And Rachna wants me to tell that these are our RRR. Thank you so much.
Okay, so moving on, I want to ask something to you, Randirendra.
Yeah, please go ahead.
How if I tell you I can read your mind?
What?
I can read your mind.
तो तुम्हारा जवाब क्या है फिर? हाँ है या ना है मतलब?
I'm asking you.
Sorry, that's not possible.
It is possible.
How?
First tell me, how would you feel if somebody comes up and reads your mind?
I'll be amazed. I mean, yes, please.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on as we call upon a professional illusionist and mentalist. He has been impressing people for past 11 years now with his outstanding work and has represented India at the Federation of Magic Societies in Germany. He's amazed people globally. He's an elected member of International Brotherhood of Magicians, a premier global organization for magic. In 2019, he did his first TED Talk. Over the years, he has performed and delivered keynotes for ton of MNCs and brands like Lamborghini, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and many more. He has also appeared on few television appearances on shows like MTV Supermodel of the Year, Big Boss, and Shark Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome Chirag Jethwaney.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a great introduction. I wrote it myself. Most of it is true though. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me, guys. I'll take the mic. And how many of you have had an experience where somebody has actually read your mind before? Has that happened to you? Who said yes? Can you please raise your hands? Your wife reads your mind. The question is, what about you, sir? Raise one hand above the other. Cross your hands. Come down. Hold tight. And whatever you do, goes right on there. At some point. What is your name, sir? That says Insider and that says Review. Which one do you want? Thank you so much. So words. Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. Yes. And that's the show, everybody. Please enjoy your evening. Thank you for being a part of this with us. Thank you for joining us.
So as we conclude this wonderful evening filled with celebrations, we now invite you to please join us for dinner and drinks. Thank you so much for being a part of